Get in the cart.
Right at us.
The best in the business, Roger Cleveland.
Can't wait to get back to Chicago in this one.
This is Party of Fore, a Mistwood Golf Club podcast. Welcome in to the Party of Fore podcast. I'm Ben Hutchison alongside Andy Michelson.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm excited because we are well underway in the golf season. It's been great seeing some familiar faces out there. I love seeing all the members flying back into the course.
Yep.
Always nice. And speaking of familiar faces, we are also starring Scott Hogan.
How we doing?
I mean, good.
You're marching along right there. I saw that. Some good marching arms you had there. So, yeah.
Dancing, marching, whatever it is. You know, it's because now I've got my irons ordered. Couldn't even tell you what exactly ones I got, but they're ordered.
You better.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a secret. I don't want to tell you.
All right.
I don't want to tell you yet. Perfect. But the irons are ordered, and our Breaking 85 series that we mentioned last episode.
It's underway.
Could be underway. Could be in production. We don't want to give that away either. But it is all good. And as always, we know Scott Hogan has been working on his lawn. So quick hit on that one. Looking good?
So far, so good. Nervous, too early to tell. Anxiety. It's more about getting into the sprint, into the season, into the dog days. You know, it's easy in these early months. It's easy.
I love working on my yard, but I also love having a lawn program and a little help from the outside. I know Andy's got help from the outside.
That's not help.
All of it is.
I mow my lawn. I mow my lawn.
I do not, will not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Never.
And we did decide it was more of a choice, but you rather see your son out on the golf course honing his game than spending time mowing the lawn.
Yes.
That's fair.
100%.
That's
I will
fair.
spend. I still get discounted rates because of my sponsorship of Wimmer Landscaping
on the show here on the pod.
Yeah, Wimmer Landscaping, really good. Lockport. I still get discounted rates. It's like it's like $30-$35, whatever it is. I mean, I have not been a product of inflation from my landscaping services. It's still good. Still well worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you just walk by Scott's house. He's mowing. You say, "What a loser!"
To be clear, it was fertilization that he was doing.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't know his mom was standing on the other side of the car. I did yell, "What a loser!" as I did see him pushing along. But credit to Scott. He's putting the work in. So I mean, shame on me for calling him out for sure.
And he just doesn't like hard work. Doesn't appreciate it.
Okay.
Doesn't appreciate it.
When it comes to lawns, you are correct.
Doesn't appreciate it.
I would rather see the hard work in the golf.
That's fair. Well, now you got the CAP program. The kids, they're outside. They're hitting balls.
Yes, sir.
Working on the game.
Yes, sir.
What do you enjoy most about? We talked about going inside to outside, but now that you're outside, what is it? Is it just a totally different feel, a different energy?
Yeah. I mean, when you go from inside to outside, it's the seeing how the player reacts to situations, seeing how they. The next few months is just situational golf and figuring out how they prep and prepare. You can start talking about tournaments because tournament season, happens right away through April here, it's kind of like what we talked about when we were opening the golf course. It's kind of like the same things. It's like these kids are now getting into tournaments. It's not just hitting balls. It's not just the exercises or the practice. It's like, okay, now we got to focus on why we do this. We do this because we want to be better players and better tournament players.
What are some of the primary things you guys are working on, and then do you just try to jump out on the course for those more situational opportunities?
I think, the first thing is just trying to, I think a lot of the kids, they have goals of like, hey, I want to shoot a certain score, and not just the kids, like most people, and they don't really understand what that would look like. They don't know what it takes, like to break 80 or to break 75 or to break par. I think a lot of them think it's some like, kind of way out there thing that, I got to do all this stuff and I got to do this stuff really great and I got to hit the ball this far, but in reality, when it comes down to it, it's just you really got to take care of the really, I guess you'd say simple things and do them really well. And if you do those things, then you give yourself a lot of room to maneuver on the rest of the game. So we're trying to teach them that for whatever their goal is, whatever, hey, this is what that would look like. Then, yeah, it's okay. You worked all winter. You worked on a swing. Now that helps you. That gives you some ability, but you still got to go out to the course and, you got to handle the wind. You got to handle uphill, downhill lie, ball above your feet. I'm in the rough, all these things. I've got trouble left. It's wide open on the right. All those little things that I think a lot of people can miss when they're playing. So just going through all that, there's a lot to learn. So yeah, it's pretty much always on the course right now. And whether it's just having them play and kind of tracking what they're doing, saying, hey, this is kind of what happened for you to shoot that score, and this is how you could make it a little better, to just being able to get out there and go, and instead of just hitting on a mat and hitting shot after shot, hey, let's go actually hit this shot and try it out. So it actually is a lot of fun to coach because you get to change it up a little bit, and there's endless possibilities of what you could do.
Yeah, you almost gotta have to like Common Core the kids, right? And Scott's put together like a nice scorecard for the kids to be able to, track the number of greens we're hitting, track the shots around the greens, track the number of putts. Like you have to realize that golf, A, is not a game of perfect. B, is all of these things add up to good scores. It's not like, hey, I want to shoot this score and don't know how to do it. You're giving them a roadmap on how to do it. It's not that they haven't, some of these players, like, they're good right now, like relatively score wise. So like, we're adding tools to their tool chest to be able to use on the golf course. It could be as simple as, hey, I'm in jail here. How do I hit this shot? Like, how do I hit this shot where I carry it 50 yards, keep it under this limb, but then don't have it like run out through the fairway? Like, how do you like protect against making huge numbers? Or, hey, the nuance of this ball is not sitting perfectly flat on the ground. How are we going to react to this? And how do even some players counter react or overreact to some of those situations? Or, hey, if the ball's in the up slope or down slope, how does that ball come out? It's just things like that they may have just taken for granted in the past that, like, we just get a little bit deeper on and figure it out, or help them figure it out.
I don't know if they figured it out in the past, because we watch enough of this to where you're like, oh, was never going to work when you see decisions that are made. So you kind of get to go over those situations, like kind of like he was talking about, where they try to hit that shot with like a wedge or something, and
or they try and they think that their normal shot is the perfect shot.
Yeah.
I used that example, I think, last year with Natalie in state. There was a certain shot that she would have had to hit the greatest shot of her life in order to execute, and they think that that's just the normal. Or, hey, I hit this ball off of a mat this far in the dome, and that's just what my numbers are. It's like, no. Your numbers are never static. Your numbers are always reacting. Your numbers are reacting to the conditions, the uphill, downhill, into the wind, downwind, right to left, left to right. Like, static numbers don't matter.
Yeah.
once you get outside,
point,
it is. It's an idea of what,
because they can change during the round.
Oh, 100%.
It warms up. You get looser. Now I'm hitting it farther. You just, as you're doing it more.
Greens go from soft to firm throughout the day. Things like that. Ball runs out a little bit further. Like, all of these little nuances that. Are you writing stuff down?
I'm thinking about it.
You should be.
Yep.
The golf course changes, reacts. You react. You get more loose. You get more tired. All of these things happen. If you're carrying a bag for 18 holes, probably the prime time of when you're at your best is in the middle of that round, and hopefully you can carry that through. And then you got to talk about, hey, how am I going to keep my energy levels up, my levels of focus? When should I be focused? When should I not be focused? You can't be focused for 4 hours on anything. The actual focus time in golf is probably less than 10 minutes. When you actually are zooming in on every single shot. So all of those things that maybe have even been misconceptions, our experience can lend to them just making better decisions when they're out there.
I wasn't playing competitive golf in junior high and high school. I would just be in high school and did intramural golf and, hey, let's go play 9 at Springbrook or Naperbrook. But
They sponsors this episode?
they didn't, but
Okay.
they didn't.
You didn't say Mistwood back in the day?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
down
didn't know.
here.
I didn't know this.
Oh, was Mistwood open back then?
98?
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
come on, man.
He's not that old.
Oh, okay.
He's not.
I graduated junior high in 2000, high school in 2004.
Yeah, prime time.
I did not know Mistwood back then, but
Fine courses, though. Naperville Park District does a fine job.
they do a great job.
Yep.
Shout out Naperville Park District.
There you go.
So what I was going to ask is, when you were that age and you guys were playing competitive golf, what was your excitement level like heading out in the springtime, I guess? Because you're a kid.
Oh.
I mean, you're a kid. You had all these other distractions, and I feel like you either buy in or you don't buy in to the practice and the playing.
I mean, yeah, the excitement was like overwhelming. I would, by the time January it would hit, you'd find that stray day where it was, 5 degrees above freezing, and there could still be snow in patches, and there was a few courses out there, the Cogs of the world and stuff like that would stay open all year that you'd go out and play. You couldn't keep me off a golf course if I saw green grass. So that's, yeah, I mean, I felt like I kept that passion all year, and then when you're, we didn't have this formal training, I think, growing up either, in any way, shape, or form. It just wasn't out there. Even if my parents were able to afford it, it just wasn't really out there. So, didn't really have anyone to talk it out with necessarily. Like that's where I see the advantage. Like, you're able to talk it out with somebody that's done it and experienced it in our type of program. And I just did it through trial and error. A lot of stuff through trial and error. Some good, some bad. I mean, I probably did things wrong for a long time too, like in different ways. So. But bringing that forward, I think they should do that. I think they should like try and figure it out on their own a lot of the time, but then have us put the guardrails up to be able to help them go, this is right or this is wrong. And I didn't have a whole lot of that growing up. I was just trying to get by with a lot of practice and some talent. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I would spend the winter with a club in my hand in my house, and we had like some simulator place in Plainfield that we would go play, but it was so unrealistic that you never registered that this was like practicing golf. Like, you would hit off a tee, the tee was terrible, and then like you figured out how to cheat it so you could chip in like every single time because you just knew how to do it.
It's like Mario Golf.
It was kind of like that with that, but you actually had a club, so I guess you do that. But like, I mean, I spent a lot of time just swinging in the basement, and and then you finally get the opportunity to try it. So it was like, it was exciting because you're not hitting a ball ever. So that could be a good thing, could probably, in some ways, but you're just like, all right, I got to get out. But also like, at this time of year, if you got a decent day, or even before this time of year, I was always getting out on the green. Like, I remember I bought my 2-ball during the winter and was using it in the house. And then I was like, oh, I finally, so if there was any remote chance of like,
Did you have the little putt return thing where you hit it in? And
no, I had the old, I had the
back.
one, I had the one with the, like, it gave the water hazards and stuff.
Yeah.
So you had to go round them up after you made them. But, yeah, it was, so you're ready to get outside and go putt, and I would go on a green. It didn't have the cups in there or anything, but they would have some holes in the ground and go putt. And
being the son of a carpet layer, we had carpet in our kitchen. Imagine that, carpet, but it stimped really well, so you could putt in the kitchen. I had that little ball return where it would spit back out at you,
Like the plastic one that was like,
I had one of those. I had one of those at some point, but I feel like it broke.
Oh, my dialed in was like, again, if I could see grass, I was in my side yard. I had 2 targets. One was like 28 yards, one was 55 yards, and I would hit just wedges and wedges and wedges and wedges in the side yard. I hit from tree to tree to tree. Thousands of dollars of broken windows. My allowance was all gone. I've had some shanks through some windows over the years that I may or may not have paid for. My parents took care of some of them. It was very informal, but the journey was fun.
I mean, and you're a good wedge player.
Yeah, right. I mean, that
Worked out.
That's what happened. I got a lot of feel like that was, but that was when we grew up. That was the sexy thing, right? Like in my age where I was at, and where my kid is now, like he's watching Bryson swing out of his mind and everything else. When we were growing up, it was like, hey, watch Lee Jansen. Hey, watch Steve Elkington. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you guys, but like those were the swings you watched, the couples, the fluid ones. The only guy that was going at it really hard was like Davis Love, and that would be nothing compared to today's players with all this, swinging hard and side bend and everything else. It was very different, very focused on wedges. I mean, Corey Pavin was my favorite player growing up. Corey Pavin can't hit out of his shadow. I mean, he was the last on tour as far as driving distance go. It was under 250 for some of those years and still competed pretty well. Was a Ryder Cup hero until they lost in 95. It was a different game, and I don't mean to sound like old, but it was a super different game. It was like lock it in from green back, and now it feels like lock it in from tee forward.
Yeah.
Well, that's the talking point right there. All of the kids are seeing the Brysons and everyone in the world, and there's probably a more, I don't want to say wholesome golf game, but different things that you looked at within the game with some of these older players that these kids would have no idea what that name even means at all. But is there a type of game or a style or things you're trying to impart or share with the kids to say, hey, this works? It's not always that.
What do you think?
I mean, it just, I think it depends a little bit on what they're trying to do. I mean, that's a hard one to say. 'Cause like, if you want to play like high level Division I college golf nowadays, like there's definitely like, hey, a minimum level of distance that you need to play golf. Like that's 100% true. Like there's a minimum level. So I don't know if a coach would take a player that hits it like Corey Pavin anymore. Like if there was a Corey Pavin out there that's too,
it wouldn't show up on the radar.
Yeah, you would really have to do something. So it's tough, but then at the same time, like really, really value the ability to get the ball in the hole. So it's just one of those where I think it's almost gotten easier to coach the game in the sense because it's like, all right, yeah, can you hit the ball far enough, and then do you have wedges and a putter? That middling area of the game has kind of gotten lost.
Its importance is reduced for sure.
Yeah, it's so it's like, yeah, just make sure you're not really messing it up too bad. And then, can we get the ball out there and get it in play? So I think from that's a lot different than what we did. I think growing up, like, we would hit a lot of those clubs and you would try to shape shots and you would try to maneuver the ball. One, because you could do it. The ball was way different back then. But two, you just didn't have the ability to even the courses that we played growing up, that, watching kids nowadays play them, it's like, man, that's just not a line, that we took. Like
Wedgwood would be a perfect example.
Before they redid Wedgwood, the old number 9. Yeah. Like nowadays people try to drive the green.
Yeah.
Like we would play it like a 4-iron and a wedge, right? Like, or a 9-iron or something. And, now it was just send it at the green and see if you can knock it on. Like that's like where this game's gone. Even here at Mistwood, like number 10, there's no thought about not trying to drive it up there. Like it's drive it up there all day. Yep. And that's just how the game goes.
Number four here was when that was the first hole, when this place first opened. We would all dump it out to the right, have 170, 180 yards to it. Now it's just like stand on the back tee and send it.
Yep.
Right over the corner.
Yep. So it's just a different game. It's different. I think there's some data that's probably helped shape that a little bit about like where your scores actually come from. But at the same time, it is a little it's like, man, you kind of wish it would go back to some creativity, because I know for me that was like the part I loved the most about it was like, all right, there's a lot of things I can do. There's not like a right way necessarily. It's just like, all right, what could I do from variety of spots?
Yeah, I think the creativity element can and should still be there. It just needs to be translated. Instead of the shaping of iron shots, it needs to be in how much more focused they need to put on the wedge games.
Yeah.
Like, and that still drives me nuts. It's like, hey man, if you're hitting it this far, guess what you're going to be hitting into greens? You're going to be hitting a lot shorter clubs. Why are we not practicing those
Right.
to a much greater degree? Like your driver moves great and you hit it nice and far, but if we're going to score, we have to get these things really well figured out. And now with all the different grinds and loft gapping and stuff like that, I mean there's a lot of times where it was pitching wedge, sand wedge, and then as I was in high school, you started to see lob wedge come into the fold a little bit. But yeah, it was a 2-3 wedge game.
Yeah.
For forever.
Yeah, and it was a lot of. I think that's something we've been doing. We did that a lot at the end of the winter session, was just to like introduce some of these kids. Like, all right, hey, we need to get, all right, you have a wedge, and it's not just hit this wedge and see how far it goes. It's all right. You need to have multiple options with each wedge, and they're going to go. Some of them might go the same yardage, but they're not the same shot.
No.
And they're used in different situations, and that's really, really important because you get a really windy day, then you're going to need, you got your lob wedge can go 70 yards, but you don't need that one because that one goes way up in the air into the wind. I need the 90-yard gap wedge that's going to stay under. That's going to also come down to 70 yards or so, and do that. So it's just those types of things that I think, I definitely took that as a challenge, and I also took that as, I think you grew up in the era of Tiger too. Like Tiger did a ton of that. He was famous, the 100-yard pitching wedge and the, little shots he would try to hit. And we always would go out and try to imitate that. I don't see a ton of that anymore. You got like Spieth and
Justin Thomas is
Justin
trying
Thomas
to,
a little
but he's
bit.
friends with Tiger, so
yeah.
Tiger always stressed the importance of that.
Scheffler does it a little bit too, but he doesn't miss greens very much, so doesn't have to.
I'm just seeing, and I don't know why, but I'm just seeing a lot of parallels between golf and baseball because I feel like with golf, it's become such a power thing. How far can you drive the ball? Baseball is how hard can you throw it and everything. Now everyone's throwing 101, 102. And it's like I miss the pleasantry of the Greg Maddux days where he wasn't going to overpower someone, hit a 340-yard drive. He was going to finesse it and place it and back up, change up it. Like, I don't know. I just kind of miss that generation of sport, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Ironically, both have been infiltrated by TrackMan a little bit. So,
I've seen with the TrackMan on baseball, yeah.
I feel like Paul Skeens has like the chance to kind of be the transcending person. Like, it'll be interesting to see how his longevity, how it pans out, because the last time I saw a Greg Maddux that threw 10 miles an hour faster was Mark Pryor, and his arm pooped out pretty quick. So
yeah, that's a bitter one.
But we're seeing a little bit of that in the men's golf game as far as like guys' backs being injured way too early in their lives. So maybe all this maybe we are at the peak, and maybe that's coming down. I don't know. I mean, they're trying to limit it with golf ball. Over the next 5 years, we'll see if that actually takes shape. Seems like they're still trying to figure that one out. So
I don't know. Is there too much in society that it's just really cool to hit a golf ball really far, and kids just want to emulate that?
I mean, yeah, I think they definitely like hitting it far for sure.
I like hitting it far.
Yeah, I love hitting it far.
I'm talking like long drive.
I'll say this though, I hate hitting driver on the range. I hate it. It's too hard, too much work. I get tired. But it's I think it's a little bit of that. But again, I think it comes back to, do we understand where the scores are coming from? Like, the reason I love hitting wedges, I love hitting all those shots because I knew that's where it was really instilled in me early. Like, that's where your scores come from. Mm-hmm. And I don't think everybody actually believes that. And so that's
a good point.
I don't think they actually believe it. You can tell them it all you want, and they say, "Oh yeah, that's important," until you show them, like, man, you hit once you got it within like 30 yards of the green, it took you like 40 shots to get the ball in the hole on like 9 holes. Like, that's a lot, and that they don't realize that's like, if you want to be at that level, they're going to be at like 20.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do we have to hear like Dustin Johnson talked about in the past, like, dude, I spend 70+% of my time hitting wedges, hitting shots under 100 yards. And it's just not, it just still doesn't seem like it translates all the way through the college ranks. Like nothing has an emphasis on wedges or being a well-rounded complete player. You're seeing guys just melt it like Gordon Sargent and all those guys. Like I don't know. I just don't. I don't understand why just we as globally as a golf community, as a teaching community, like really put more emphasis back on the wedge game as much as it should be, because that's where they're going to score if they're going to hit it this far.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think too, like, you know, the golf courses are monsters too.
Yeah,
like I got back. I just was at a trip where we played in front of the practice round for a D1 tournament, and where we were up, and we were up one tee box from them, and they were 1,000 yards longer than us.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy cow! I'm like, this course is a monster already. Where I was playing it from, I'm like, this is a monster. And if you put me 1,000 back there, like I wouldn't break 90. And you know, so they have to have that. They have to have that on some of these courses, just to have like a 7-iron in. You know, on some of them too. Yeah,
Frank and I played La Costa last year from the tournament tees, and it was a joke. I mean, it was like unplayable. It was so long. So.
There's a little bit of that too. It's a reaction to the distance, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like who's chasing. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. It's like, is the athlete chasing the distance because we're getting out ahead of it and trying to, like, I don't know. You know, like they're talking about tiger proofing all those years, and now we're basically like player proofing it now. It's like there's still places though for unique designs that aren't absolutely crazy.
The old school courses are still hard, man.
Sawgrass did a great job.
Did all right. Merritt, you know, Valspar, he had 11 under, I think, won.
Yeah.
You have you know, if they go back to Marion, Marion still really destroys them, and it's 6,800 yards or something.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit of the creativity in the design too, but you know. Same time, they have like a 300-yard par 3 at Marion, so you know they found some yardage somewhere. That's hard. That's decently hard.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, at Mistwood, we'll have some clinics coming up.
Yep.
Looking ahead to the summer.
Yeah, we're gonna do more on-course stuff. We're gonna bring back some more junior options for the summer, so just kind of stay tuned there on the website. Just more opportunities for, I guess, players to consume us in different and unique ways instead of just the traditional, hey, I'm going to watch you hit balls in front of me type of thing. So
I know Nicole wants to do some ladies events.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be everybody.
Everybody.
Right? Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Scott, you like the kind of non-traditional way of learning the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously like technique and getting a lesson and getting your techniques is very important, but I think there's so much opportunity for people just to, you know, to spend time practicing in the right way and be guided on how to practice and be guided on how to play a golf hole, you know, stuff like that. So that's the stuff that I think you can see immediate, like pretty quick differences of like, hey, this is going to help you. So I think that's always exciting. So that's why I like it, because I think you can really see a quick effect of the score.
I've always thought too, like whenever you do groups, and I know people shy away from groups because they're like, oh, well, I'm not getting that one-on-one every single swing. I've always thought some of the biggest like transformational stuff happens in groups because like you're able to talk it out through the group.
Yeah,
like you have an idea that maybe you thought about or didn't think to bring up that person thought about, and then like. Now we're all talking as a group because we're all kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, I did one. This would have been like 2008 or 9. That was the first time I ever did a group, other than like junior stuff growing up. I went. It was 5 people, and it was actually 4 juniors and then myself, and I was like 22 at the time, so they were like 18 or 17.
Gotcha.
And it was a 2-hour session, and I just remember. I loved it. The amount of instruction was very little in terms of like he did film our swing. We went up, talked about it. He showed some drills, and then it's like, hey, go back and work on it, which it was awesome. And then like an hour later, hey, let's recheck it. But I just remember loving it because it made me hit balls for 2 hours and hit balls for 2 hours in a really good way. Like, this is a good practice. Like, I'm really getting something out of this.
Yeah.
So, and it was partly because I didn't want to look like an idiot in front of the other people there, And,
Yeah, I mean, it's a cheaper way to consume a lesson, right? But I feel like the rewards are so much more. So, like, I when you see those things, don't shy away from them. I would say take full advantage of it because usually you learn a lot more in the group setting than you do.
Yeah, they're fun too.
One-on-one. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Stay tuned for those clinics. We'll have it all on our website, mistwoodgc.com, upcoming events. And we will see all of you in just a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching.
Get in the cart.
Right at us.
The best in the business, Roger Cleveland.
Can't wait to get back to Chicago in this one.
This is Party of Four, a Mistwood Golf Club podcast.